Hey group, this is your admin, 𝐒𝐭𝐤, also known as a Maker of a Beauty, and I am doing this, what I hope to be a regular schedule live on sharing different tips and tricks, but today it's a little bit more of just let's jump in and get going and see how it goes. Um, Dry run without, much of a preparedness. So I just want to see whether or not the video is actually transmitting well and if anybody can hear me. If you guys can validate whether or not that you can hear me, that'd be so awesome. So I see that I am live and my screen share is being shared, which is wonderful, but I do not see whether or not anybody is actually watching it. And I do not know if the volume is working. So I'm actually toggling between two computers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the volume on my second computer to see whether or not the volume is coming through just fine. So if you hear double echo, that's me trying to validate the volume is recording well. So here it goes. So you hear double echo, that's me. Yep, okay, it's definitely working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it a little bit more of a time to see if more people get to see it and they join in, because it's always so much better if you have interaction. But if I don't, that's okay still. I have a lot to share. I hope that a lot of it, many of you will find it useful. And since I'm going live directly in the group, the hope is that it will allow me to save it, and so that even if nobody is online right now watching it, people will end up using it for later on. Hey, let me just make sure. Okay, action needed. Your live stream is experiencing performance issues. All right, well, that's a bummer. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I'm guessing it's at my, let's see, it is a little bit of a delay, but it is what it is. I can't really, oh, bummer. There's no viewers just yet. So I'm kind of undecided on whether or not I should proceed or if I should cancel this one and try one more time again, because I really would like for this to be relevant, and it's definitely 0 viewers and looks like it continues to experience problems too. Well, boo-hoo. Yeah, we got 1 viewer, so that's something. Okay. You know what? There are 2 people here, and I want to be mindful of your time, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So a while back, guys, I've written up about this wonderful extension that helps you to see, right, and pick up on the traffic. Because when you generate the content, be that, doing something on the Pinterest, right, when coming up with a description for your pins, or even generating the, content for your blogs, the question is like, what is really good stuff? How should you frame your sentences? What you should be putting it in? And so there is this absolutely wonderful tool, and the tool called is a keyword. I do have a paid version for it, and it's actually even the free version is just absolutely wonderful. And so today what I want to do is to demonstrate how I use it to work it. So I'm on my Pinterest, and I highly, 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 highly recommend it. I recently started to be more diligent about pinning, and I try to pin at least 20 pins a day. That's my target for every day of the week, including the weekends. And I jumped from like 10,000 views to 17, I want to say, in 2 weeks. But any case, coming up with the descriptions that are going to get, picked up by Pinterest is, of course, the keyword, in addition to making sure that you have an attractive video. So how do I figure out what keywords I need to be putting into my description in order for my pin to get picked up and be attractive and qualify for the search, right? When people coming in and they're looking for the subject matter that I'm pinning it for. So this is how I do it. Right now I'm going to be pinning something that has to do with the paper flowers. So what I do is I basically go out to Google and I type it in paper flower. That plugin is already installed, on my browser. And so once I type in paper flowers, it just automatically picks up. And, it gives you all kind of different, really, 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 really awesome metrics. And I strongly encourage you to explore all of them, right? I definitely have looked at every single one of them, and I'm happy to go through every single point of it if there is an interest. But I want to show you how I utilize it for when I figure out what to do for my pin interest descriptions. I typically go to look at the long tail keywords, right? Because people never really look for the just paper flowers. There is like something else, right? You need to have your description to be comprehensive. So just putting in like paper flower is not going to be enough. So this is how I do it. I look, I put it in the paper flowers, and then I look at the long tail keywords. And I see there is a whole bunch of them, right? And so what I say is this. I'm going to go now to my pin interest, and I'm going to create my pin. So I went out to the pin interest. I obviously have quite a bit of stuff already prepared. So I'm just going to try to remember. Yeah, there we go. So I've already designed my stuff, and let me pause here 1 second and just say this, guys. So I am unsure about whether it's applicable everywhere, but I just made it a habit that when I name my files, right, they need to be intelligent, and they need to be something that goes back to the SEO. And the best thing to do is actually spell out the name of your file. And so I used to label my files like, paper template number 1, paper template number 2. I don't really do that anymore. I put in a whole lot more just in case if that information is being, indexed by Google. Then if you have something intelligent, it's more likely that you'll get picked up. What that means is that if you are trying to draw traffic to your specific website, whatever presence on the web you have, anything that is intelligent will only help you. So, and that's why I make it a habit that all of my files, they have something a little bit more than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna pull in my picture. It's already at the right size for the I'm sorry, it's the right size for the pin interest, because pin interest likes to have the long vertical ones. So for my title, I want it to be identified as my work. So I'll either say like paper flower, maker of beauty, or made by something, either one, doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna say by maker of beauty. And now is the cool part, right? So this is where the bread and butter of how the pin interest works. You need a description that will get, selected when people look for stuff. And this is where the keyword, comes into play. So I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong page. So I'm going to jump right in here. And so I will say, I'm just going to start grabbing a whole bunch of different keywords, right, and package them together in a hope that when people look for stuff, my pin will qualify. So I will type, oops, I did not copy this. So let me copy this one. And I'll start with, do you wonder how to make paper flowers at home? Question mark, right? What about, and now I go back here, and I'm gonna copy this one. And the reason I'm doing that, how about, let's see, paper flower for decorations, right? So what I'm doing, guys, is essentially I'm grabbing the uh, whole sentences almost, right? That keyword plugin is telling me that people had come in and they have used it to look it up when they search for information around the paper flowers. And the reason I want to incorporate as many of the as possible is because I'm hoping that one of the searches will end up landing the searcher right on the other side on my stuff. And the big thing about this is that, you know, like, I guess you could ask a question, well, why don't you just copy this whole thing and put it in here and just, you know, fill it up with the keywords? So that actually used to work. If you look at some of the older Etsy listings, right, people would do exactly that. They would just literally just grab all of the keywords, you know, and treat them like a tags and put it in a description of a product. That doesn't really quite work so much anymore because Google actually wants something that is intelligent. And, you know, with a whole mechanical language modification and refinement, the search needs to be like, the search will recognize when you're just stuffing keywords versus writing something that is attractive. So I'm going to go back and finish it up my description. So I'm going to grab this very easy paper flowers. Okay, and now I'm going to be driving a little bit more for, you know, towards myself, you know, the recognition of my name, you know, my business name. So I know that SVG is very popular, and I also know that the templates is very popular, as well as a 𝐒𝐿, right? And so I'm going to start to incorporate all of that into my description. I'm going to say this SVG paper flower template created by Maker of Beauty are perfect for your 𝐒𝐿 machine, because Lord knows a lot of us are you know, looking for the 𝐒𝐿 machine, and it's gonna have a whole bunch of the searches hit right there. So, and I know that the 𝐒𝐿 machines, you know, often will fall like 𝐒𝐿 machine air or air 2, or, and I will actually spread 𝐒𝐿 air 2, 𝐒𝐿 maker, and 𝐒𝐿 maker 3. So that was the last thing that I grabbed. You will see how very easy paper flowers can be with this templates. And so now, right, if you guys take this description apart, what you will find is that, you know, I've tried to hit as many keywords in an intelligent and comprehensive description as it's possible. So for example, if you were to go and look for the 𝐒𝐿, look what's gonna happen. So we're gonna do 𝐒𝐿 machine, and we're gonna drop it down and see what the keyword is picking up. And it actually has a whole bunch of different other stuff that I don't necessarily have. So maybe, you know, I should go back and refine my description a little bit more. But you know, you guys can sort of like see that with the 𝐒𝐿 machine, I'm gonna get like quite a bit of a hit. Even if somebody's looking for the 𝐒𝐿 machine comparison, you know, because I have this, the 𝐒𝐿 machine keyword, there is a chance that my pin would still, like, you know, pick up and jump in front somebody to be paid attention to. I always do add the alternative text, and so in here I will say the, you know, these are paper flower SVG templates created by Maker of Beauty. And then I will later on put in the destination link to my Etsy shop, if I can actually remember it, which I don't remember right on the top of my head. So I'm gonna type it in, Maker of Beauty. Okay, that's not hitting my store. So I'm going to get rid of the spaces and see if that's gonna do a little bit better. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, there's my store. So I'm just going to grab this link, go back to the Pinterest, put my link in, and I'm going to say that I wanted to go to the paper flower SVG, and I'm going to publish it. And there we have it. A pin that has the picture that Pinterest likes it. I actually want to see my pin. So it's got that long vertical. Let me see if I can reduce it a little bit, because I think it's a little bit harder to see. So I just wanted to show it to you, that I make sure that it's a long, nice vertical. Oh, I don't know what just happened, but somehow it kicked me out. Okay. Let me see if I can get out directly, and we'll go to saved, and there you guys can see my very last pin. So I tried to make it as long as possible. You know, I mean, you guys can see that like now Pinterest has even longer vertical post. But any case, so here's my post, right, along with a very good description, and hopefully when somebody's searching for paper flowers, you know, my my pin will pop up for them. And you know, like I said, I'm very big on the analytics. I keep a track of it, and my Pinterest numbers are trending. Any case, I hope you guys will find this very, very useful. It would be lovely if people were asking me questions, but oh well. Hopefully this will still help somebody. And if you have any questions, just, you know, use the comment section. I will get to it, answering it later. Have a good night, and our live video is done. Take care.